5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban.
Hello.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Named team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Hello there and welcome to the EPICENTER XL closed qualifiers. My name is Nomadcast. I'm here. Well, let's just say he's Divine 5 in in-game knowledge, but Archon 2 in social skills. It's Semifinal Dota. How's it going, man?
Oh, come on, man. Let's not be like that. Start of the day, you know. We've got to be fresh. It's Valentine's Day, you know.
Straight in. Yeah, sorry, man. Where's the love? Where's the love? All right, well, we are here with Team Kinguin versus Team OG in the upper bracket of the closed qualifiers, and we're already into this draft a little bit. It's the best of 3 series, and the loser, well, they're not quite going out. They'll be dropping down to the lower bracket to face off against the loser of the next match, which is going to be Man's Not Hot versus the Final Tribe. But right now, we're into this draft a little bit already. OG banning out the Broodmother straight up. That's a little bit unique there.
Yeah, that's I think that's a very Team Kinguin orientated ban. We've been seeing exotic deer actually play some carry brood recently, especially in these qualifiers for EPICENTER, so OG just deciding they don't want to play against that, and I don't blame them at all. You know, sometimes you get into a game of Dota or against the brood and you're like, please get me out of here, why have we lost all our towers at like 5 minutes into the game? So I really like that ban.
Okay, well, Team Kinguin, keeping things a little bit more. The Chen ban still not exactly usual, but you can't blame it. And of course, the Nagasiren going out the window. So strong right now. Just the perfect roaming hero. Net's really good, Song's really good, and obviously you can buy Meteor Hammer. So why wouldn't you ban her? Exactly.
What a great item that is. I really like the Chen ban as well. We've seen Jerax and Fly play this in the past, so not surprised to see that banned out at all. Naga's a really favourable pick for OG as well, and definitely Rubik too. You know, we've been seeing OG play a lot of Rubik this tournament so far in the closed qualifiers, so I think, you know, usually we see some general bans coming out from teams, but I think all these 6 bans are probably, you know, very team orientated at the moment, so, you know, these teams probably know each other really well. Wouldn't surprise me if they've scrimmed each other in the past, so they probably know each other quite a lot. And, you know, here we go. This is, if you're going to ban out these really specific heroes, we're going to have some big heroes coming through in the first draft phase.
And there's a Tiny coming out. Whoa, goes straight in. Team Kinguin wasting no time at all as they grab out the Sand King and the Elder Titan. So OG, well, how do you reply to this? I mean, Sand King and Elder Titan, that feels like 2 fours to me, but obviously they're going to be putting that Sand King, I guess, in the off lane, or maybe playing a 5 position Elder Titan. I mean, I guess they still have those options out there, don't they?
Yeah, it's flexible, but Kinguin really love this opening of Sand King Elder Titan. They've done it a few games now this tournament as well. They tend to just run this, you know, really aggressive off-lane dual lane together. You know, we see the Sand King as a position 3, the Elder Titan as a position 4, and they really like to bully these lanes. I'd be interested to see if No-Tail plays this Tiny into this dual lane of the Sand King and the Elder Titan. You know, not an easy lane for Tiny, but if they pick some supports with kill potential to back this Tiny up, then, you know, this Sand King Titan lane might not have the effectiveness that Kinguin are hoping to have at the moment.
From OG, they're taking a little bit more time over this one. I mean, any predictions? I mean, I guess maybe the 5 or so? I mean, Bane's still hanging around. Bane's a pretty good hero, I've been told.
Yeah. Bane's a very good hero. My personal favourite position 5 at the moment.
Oh, wow. High praise indeed.
Well, definitely. It wouldn't surprise me to see a position 4 here as well, though. You know, there's if they don't, you know, pick their position 4 here, then Kinguin are probably going to be looking to ban some position 4s out in the next phase. You know, they've taken the Sand King for themselves, they've taken the Titan for themselves. Jerax loves his tusk, so we might see that. But, we're going to see a GH Keeper for life. What a treat! What an absolute treat coming out from OG. GH. Hang on, this isn't liquid.
Oh, sorry. No, this isn't liquid. My bad.
This is, I think...
Well, I'm sure I've taken notes from GH on this one.
I think... I mean, Sorry, not Resolution. Fly can probably play this Kotal if he really wants to, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Jerax on this hero. They might run this tiny Kotal dual off lane together as well. It wouldn't be too surprising. You know, that's a lot of pressure on the enemy safe lane if they do this tiny Kotal. You know, you have this Illuminate flying in from the trees on the side of the map. You have this tiny, you know, throwing things at you, throwing trees at you. You know,
that's true. They got
projectiles.
They got some long range damage going on, and got to be pretty careful in these lanes. You might find yourself being bursted down very quickly indeed. So OG, I got the right team this time. They are going for the next ban, and I mean, they've got quite a few respect bans out of the way. I mean, the Enchantress and the Brood already, so I'm wondering if they're going to start banning out a couple more. I mean, we've even got the Lycanstone in the pool, and Team Kinguin ban a Bristleback, and I think that's actually a combo with the Keeper of the Light, which OG have run before. With the Keeper of the Light and the Bristle, and you put Chakra Magic on him and he double quills or something like that. I think I've seen them do that before.
It's a similar strength to the tiny Kotal off lane together. You know, you put a lot of pressure on the enemy lane. You know, you just keep throwing quills out. You can keep throwing trees out if you're the tiny. You know, Tiny and Bristleback are both heroes that require a lot of mana for their spells, and they don't have a great lot of mana regen early on. So, you know, with this Chakra Magic, you know, it just allows them to spam their spells however they want. You know, keep the pressure on the lane, keep throwing projectiles. I'd be surprised if N0tail didn't play this tiny though. I'm sure S4 can play it, but I think N0tail's a lot of the time when OG play, N0tail's the guy that plays the tiny.
Yeah, he loves the tiny. He absolutely loves it for sure. And well, there goes the Beastmaster for Team Kinguin. I guess they're trying to get rid of these strats with the Quattl, it seems to me. You know, Beastmaster can be pretty mean in the lane with Chakra Magic and those wild axes flying out. Also, again, the long range damage there. So, yeah, kind of interesting from Team Kinguin, but I like what they're doing, and I think they're reading OG quite well here.
Yeah, the other thing is, if you have this Beastmaster Kotal on the same team together, they're going to have so much map control between them. You know, you have this Hawk flying around, give them loads of vision, and when the Kotal gets this axe, you know, at daytime, he's going to see everything. I really like this Lone Druid banned by OG just now as well. We've been seeing Exotic Deer play a lot of Lone Druid, a lot of Broodmother, known for his Enchantress carry. I mean, he's been playing some Nature's Prophet carry as well, so I'd be interested to see if Team Kinguin value the Nature's Prophet of this game, or, you know, maybe it's quite difficult to play against the tiny Kotal.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think, yeah, they've still got a lot of options though. That's what I like about both of these openings. They're very open-ended. I mean, maybe the Kotal does suggest a little bit more than the Sand King Elder Titan opening, but still, you know, and that's what it's all about in the first stage of the draft, right? You never want to give too much away with your first two picks, unless you're really confident with your heroes, and you've already banned the possible counters to it, which is a very difficult situation to get yourself into. So usually we do see these open-ended starts, and that's why Tiny is so strong, because he can lane anywhere. He can go mid, he can go safe lane, he can go off lane. You give away nothing when you pick an early Tiny, and also the hero is really strong with his tree and everything, but also the drafting potential from this hero is actually just about as strong as his actual in-game abilities.
Yeah, it's exactly like you say. I think a lot of teams at the moment are favouring not picking their position 4 and 5 in the first phase. You know, we tend to see a core hero that can, you know, be running in multiple lanes, you know, in any of the 3 lanes, and then usually a position 4 or 5. And then that leaves in the second phase, you know, they can pick out another one of these supports and then look into those last 2 picks as being cores. I'd be really surprised if we didn't see a position 5 pick here from Kinguin. There's still a Disruptor in the pool. Rubik's gone. There's a Bane in the pool, like we talked about before. You know, there's not a lot of massively viable position 5s at the moment, so that's why I wouldn't be too surprised to see Fly playing the Kotal for OG as well.
Ooh, okay. And an Ogre Magi coming out from Team Kinguin. Okay, so they've definitely cemented the Sand King or the Elder Titan in the offlane there, I think, as the Ogre Magi is definitely going to be on that 5 position. Although, you can never really tell with Team Kinguin. They do like to run some unusual cores, don't they? Yeah, they really do. I think, I agree though. I think Ogre Titan and Elder Titan, Ogre Magi, sorry, and Elder Titan are going to be locked into these support positions. And, you know, this Bloodlust machine is going to be really good for whatever the cores the Team Kinguin choose to pick up here. Alright, and there comes the Witch Doctor from OG, so, yeah, definitely making these drafts nice and interesting. These are heroes we haven't really been seeing much before. I mean, the Ogre Magi I haven't seen, and Witch Doctor we've seen a little bit of. But, yeah, I like it. He's a nice solid support. Gives them a stun, which the Keeper of the Light lacks. And Maledict is a really strong spell, especially if you can get it off before Tiny lands his combo. Then all that damage is going to be amplified, and things are going to get out of control for whoever gets ganked very quickly.
Yeah, we've seen OG love to run this sort of tiny SD before in the lane for the big kill potential, and it's a similar thing with the Witch Doctor. Like you've just said, you know, you throw the cask, throw the Maledict on the hero that you want to burst down, and Tiny puts out so much damage with this combo, you know, from the Toss Avalanche. So, you know, I really like this from OG, and it does give away that the Kotal's a position 4 now, so this is going to be a Jerax Kotal. Really excited to watch this, but, you know, Kinguin see this, you know, they're like, okay, well, OG don't deal with illusions that well at the moment. You know, they have the Illuminate, but, you know, PL's just going to keep creating illusions, so we're going to pick this PL, we're confident in this hero, you know, and we can still run it as a position 1 or 2 as well, so really flexible PL pick.
Okay, well there comes a Gyrocopter from OG. So does this deal with Phantom Lancer quite well? I feel like Flat Cannon does to an extent get rid of those illusions, but I don't know, how do these two heroes interact with each other?
Yeah, so Gyro versus PL is quite interesting. So Gyro is a decent counter to PL. You know, with this Flat Cannon you get the Flat Cannon talent as well, so I think you get something like 10 Flat Cannon stacks maybe. I think it maybe 9, I can't remember off the top of my head. But, you know, you can clear these illusions really quickly with Flat Cannon when you get to these late stages of the game. The problem is PL doesn't really care too much, you know, he's going to keep creating illusions, so you have to keep flacking through them really quickly, otherwise they're going to stack up. I really like Gyro though as well. Not only that, but it's very good against all these melee heroes that Kinguin have picked up at the moment. You know, Rocket Barrage, you know, Gyro loves to run at these melee heroes and just stay in range of them. You know, he loves it when they chase after him. Cooldown's also a really good spell against these heroes. You know, they're not going to be split up in these fights very much. You know, they're going to be in your face. We can see how Kinguin want to play this game already. You know, they want to face rush you. They want to get this bloodlust on the PL. So I'm really interested to see who's playing what on OG at the moment. I imagine we'll probably see the No Tail Tiny, the Rezo Gyro. You know, Rezo's Gyro's been being played a lot recently, so still S4's hero in the pool. That would be my guess, but you know, we could see S4 on this Tiny as well, especially with this Tiny Kotal lane that we've already talked about as well. But it looks like Kinguin actually...
getting rid of the lifesteal, I like that ban quite a lot.
Yeah, you know, Lifesteal is very good against the Gyro. He doesn't care about the magic damage that's been output by a lot of these heroes at the moment. You know, he can rage off the Maledict, doesn't care about the mana leak, can just rage into the Tiny and smash through him. I think that's a good ban. Kinguin would have 5 melee heroes, but you know, that I still think it's a good ban from OG. And personally, I think they're going to pick up S4's hero here. Possible Puck, maybe? I know, you know, we've all seen the S4 Puck before. Yeah,
they need the big there it is. Alrighty. We will stay clear away. I mean, there's an elephant in the room here, but we're not going to say it. We're just going to say S4 Puck. Good. Yeah, it's a hero which has done a lot for him in the past, and leave it at that. So Team Kinguin, they need their mid as well now, so getting to see the opponent's mid before they pick their own. Are we likely to see something like a Dragon Knight here for the lane counter? But then obviously, as you say, you have got 5 melee heroes on the time of Team Kinguin, and that might not be what they're after.
Yeah, this I think this Puck's probably going to be played in the off lane. It wouldn't surprise me to see this Gyro go mid, actually. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, that is seriously aggressive from Team Kinguin there.
It's going to be a core Night Stalker. They're running like a Night Stalker carry. Oh, this is going to be amazing. I'm really excited to see this now.
Okay, so, alright. I love this Team Kinguin. I mean, they're coming up against OG. What do? Do they stay with their comfort picks, the meta? No. We're going to throw everything at you. Yeah, this is interesting. The
thing is, the other reason why this is interesting as well, that there's a Kotal on the other team. So, you know, Kotal really wants to get that Ags online and, you know, really try and push these lanes in. Farm his Ags really quickly and then use the map control with the daytime vision he gets. You know, Night Stalker's going to completely counter that, you know. Darkness, you know, when it gets to this late stages of the game, it's probably going to be up for about 2/3, 3/4 of the time. So, I'd be interested to see if Jerax still decides to go for the Aghanims this game. I think he probably will, but, you know, not going to have the effectiveness that OG originally hoped for. I'm really interested to see how much Exotic Deer can do on this Night Stalker. I think this is a really big pick, especially with the instant silence against the Puck as well.
I mean, so usually at this stage we say whose draft do you prefer, who's going to win, but this is impossible. Like, I'm not going to ask you to do that, because this is like, Team Kinguin have a really unique way they got to play this game. We've never seen this sort of lineup before in a very long time. So I mean, just throw out a guess. Who do you think's got this? I mean, OG obviously the favourites, but this is a very unique draft from Kinguin, and
I think OG are definitely the big favourites going into this, like you said. You know, they haven't lost a qualifying game in so long. They haven't lost the game in the Katowice Major, the Bucharest Major, the DAC Major, in all the qualifiers, sorry. No, they haven't even dropped a game, never mind a series, so... I think OG are definitely going to be the big favourites here. I like the OG draft. You know, they have this puck dream coil coming in. You know, the gyro coming down with the cooldown and the flak afterwards, and especially into these 5 melee heroes from Kinguin. I feel like, you know, this combo is going to become really, really troublesome for them, especially in the mid game when OG are going to be, you know, 5-manning trying to take these fights early on.
Alrighty, well, we have the heroes getting into the lane right now, heading to those bounty runes, and yeah, I mean, I really can't call the game, but I do like Kinguin's draft a lot. I really want to see them do well here. Whether they can take down OG, that's another question entirely. I feel like Gyrocopter does really excel versus all of these melee heroes.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing is, it's not even the gyro. I feel like all the heroes on OG do well against these melee heroes, like the Maledict, the Cask. It's going to be super good. The cooldown, the Illuminate even as well. You
even
know,
the Illuminate, yeah.
Because there's so many good heroes, so many good skills, sorry, from OG to deal with this Kinguin side. This is the offlane that we talked about, though. You know, this Sanking out of time, they're going to be running at you, Rezo, on this safe lane gyro. So I think he needs to be really, really careful with how he plays it early on. You know, just try and secure his farm in the early game. Try not to fight them too much unless he has the help of both of his supports. But I feel like Jerax probably wants to play most of his early game in this bottom lane. Try and help the puck, you know, stack some camps in this jungle that he can go back and farm.
Yeah, for sure. Well, looks like the Gyrocopter is going to be zoned out. He's like, they're not really going to try anything here. So, Big Daddy, Mr. No-Tail, going to find himself a nice bounty rune to start things up. Is he going to go for the creep pull? He is not. They have got the Kotl down here, so they're looking to just lane this in a pretty normal way. Meanwhile, we have Nisha. Imagine he's heading to the mid. Yep, there we go. Okay. Ogre Magi just throwing out those blocks.
So they really want this puck matched up versus the PL. We've talked about this tiny Kotl offlane though. You know, they are very, very good at putting pressure. So, you know, S4's definitely played mid before in the past with Alliance and things, so he's going to be very happy with where he is at the moment.
Okay, we'll see how this middle lane pans out, but right now it's S4 taking the advantage, but the creeps were under his tower, so they do drop. That wave does drop faster, and yeah, we'll see L trying to get some harass onto S4 there, and S4's pretty much fine. He'll just soak it up. I mean, yes, he's getting harassed, but he's also getting solo XP compared to Nisha, who's having to share it with L here. So
we've seen Exotic Deer playing a lot of these carries for Kinguin that tend to get sacrificed early on in the lane. You know, like he plays these strong laning heroes like Brood, Enchantress, Lone Druid. We've seen Nature's Prophet. You know, so he's actually been left alone on the Nightstalk here as well against this really good dual lane from OG. We'll be interested to see how much he can get out of the lane, but.
Yeah, Exotic Deer is definitely struggling.
Okay, never mind. I think the thing is, this Phantom Rush from PL against Puck in lane, you know, normally we see it doing a lot of damage. You get this 30 agi, you know, at level 4 Phantom Rush, but against the Puck, you know, he's just going to phase shift that off. You know, he doesn't really care if you run at him, so I think this is a really good matchup for OG in the middle lane here.
Yeah, and yeah, down at bottom, like we have Jerax and No-Tail really zoning out Exotic Deer here. Like he's only managed to get one last hit from this lane so far. It's pretty brutal for a Nightstalker to be solo laning this, but we'll see how this goes over time. But I have a feeling the story is not going to change so much. Meanwhile, up at top, how much pressure are they putting on Resolution? Well, not a whole lot as of yet. I'm sure they'll be looking to ramp it up soon, but Cancor trying to get the stomp onto Fly here, but does cancel it, and now the stun onto the Witch Doctor. He's kind of stuck. It's a nice cast though. They're going to bounce around, and that is going to mean Fly escapes.
Well, I'm surprised. Surprised the Elder Titan didn't try and dive the Witch Doctor there. He actually had the Caustic Slow on him. I think that could have been a kill, but you know, a bit risky diving under the tower. Maybe could have been some rotations coming in. So.
Alrighty, well, middle lane, Nisha farming it up. He is able to keep a little bit above the puck thanks to the Ogre Magi throwing out those ignites and actually walking back. He's getting low, isn't he? And there's a toss as well. Not tossing back to Jerax though, and yeah, Exotic Deer will get away. I mean, could he have landed the toss to Jerax? I think he needed the sight, and if you stopped to toss back, then maybe that would have not worked.
Yeah. The other thing is as well that, you know, this Nightstalker doesn't have a salve at this point, so he's going to be very, very scared to try and push up in this lane. You see at the moment he only has 2 CS, like even Jerax has more CS than him at the moment, so he's having a really rough CS, time. Is it? Really rough time. They're putting a lot of emphasis on trying to protect this mid lane with the Ogre.
Jerax and No-Tail aren't giving up on Exotic Deer here, and look at this, the Avalanche coming out, and there's a toss as well with the Illuminate. He does have a wand, and now it's actually turning it around onto Jerax. Jerax is very low, but Exotic Deer is low as well. And now, yeah, they will just be able to juke him around a little bit. Jerax playing very carefully. He's too fast, and that is going to be your first blood going down. Meanwhile, at the top, Resolution dropping a little bit low, but it's going to be okay. The Ogre Magi's come up to join the party up at top lane, and they're obviously satisfied that Nisha's had a decent start to this game, and S4 doesn't really enjoy this lane, and I was wondering if he maybe wants to make a play here with a Spirit Lance now. Okay.
Possibly.
Yeah, I mean, he used the face
Rezo in the top lane on the gyro.
Oh, they're trying to get him down, but Paytos, he's taking a lot of damage here, and that's a lot of Maledict's stacks going down. I think he's going to drop, but they do find Resolution in return, but Kankor, he's getting kind of low. Can he make it? No, he can't. It's going to be 1 for Fly, and Paytos just about surviving there. Level 1 Maledict does not do a lot of damage.
Yeah, Kinguin are going to be very happy there that it was actually K-Saw going down.
Puck on mid drops very, very low, just to the Spirit Lance spam.
So much action going on here at the start of the game. You know, we have a lot of high potential kill potential lanes down here. You know, this Kotl Tiny in the off lane. You know, we see this Ogre roaming around into the top lane now. So there's going to be a lot of action early on, I think. Oh, this Puck doesn't have a salve either. I think he's got one coming out on the courier now, but yeah, he does.
There you go.
He's going to be okay.
It's not like I thought to drop that low without a plan.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like Kinguin they're okay at the moment. You know, as long as this PL's farming. Oh, no tail in the bottom lane on the Tiny. He's going to be in trouble.
Uh-oh, he's getting jumped by Kankor. L and the Exotic Deer, they will be able to take him out without too much effort there, but it's a really nice rotation from them. The moment the Kotl is gone, they are jumping on that lane and they are getting their kills. But that does mean Resolution's got a little bit more space up top, and Sanking can't really contest his lane on his own. Yeah,
look at Jarak stacking these camps as well. You get both camps at once here in the bottom dire jungle. So he's going to be looking to blast both of those later on into the game. Probably when he gets that level 4 online. But like you said, when he leaves this bottom lane to go and stack these camps, it makes Nota really, really vulnerable to these support rotations.
They're actually going to toss the Exotic Deer up into the air. There are 3 heroes around though. Jarax is waiting. He does get that blast through, but it's not doing enough damage, and Tiny might be in trouble again as he's fighting off against 3 heroes and is taken down. Kinguin finding another kill onto No-Tail in the bottom lane.
Yeah, they're going to be very happy.
And up at top, Fly is dropping kind of low to Paytos here, but he is going to be able to get away. Caustic Finale, not nearly enough to do any real threats. But later on, it will become a little bit more of an issue, but right now, level 1 Caustic Finale is just like...
Yeah, it doesn't
like a tap on your shoulder.
I'll be interested to see if he puts more points in Caustic or whether he goes for this Soundstorm build that we see a lot of the time. Jarax actually didn't get to stack these camps in the dire jungle because he's been leeching the lane XP, so... No-Tail, when he died that second time, he actually couldn't TP back to lane because he'd already just died, so unfortunate for him, he's had to do the walk of shame to the bot lane again, so... Ooh, Jarax might be in trouble here on the Kotl, around the rune spot.
He's looking once again surrounded. Big Daddy coming in to try and save Jarax, but he can't quite find it. There comes the Ignite, and there's a sleep. It's a lovely job. And there we go, they will finish off that kill, and No-Tail just going to retreat back to the side of the map. And once again, another kill in this bottom lane. That is they've had quite a lot of success down here.
Yeah, Jarax needs to be really careful in this lane with his positioning. It's very, very good rotations by the supports. You know, if you don't see them on the other side of the map, then it's going to be very, very difficult to know where they are. These supports are doing a good job of sort of hiding away and just making these dual rotations now. You know, the Ogre's won the mid lane for the PL. You know, he's soaring ahead on the CS at the moment in terms of against the Puck. So you actually see, yeah, they're dual rotating mid now. You know, there's this dire observer ward here, but they don't see them.
They're going to find Fly, who's trying to sack some camps, and there comes out the slow. But I really like this combo. Yeah, like you say, the Ignite slow, combo that up with the Astral Spirit and the Stomp, and it's really, really difficult to get away from. I mean, Puck will be okay with that one because he's got the Illusionary Orb, but a lot of the other heroes on the side of OG can't really escape that, and Resolution just takes him down. Paytos here is going to drop the cooldown as well. Paytos does not have Sandstorm, he doesn't have the Burrow Strike, but joking through the trees quite nicely, and actually Resolution could be in some trouble here as Kankor's coming in behind. But no, they are actually not going to go on him. Just chasing him away with that Astral Spirit.
The thing is, I feel like this game's all on the PL for Kinguin, you know, all in on Nisha at the moment, because the other 2 heroes in the side lanes aren't farming too well, especially Exotic Deer on this Night Stalker. But again, you know, I don't think Night Stalker leaves a lot of farm to do his job. You know, he's going to be running around at you. He probably wants to be getting his goal from kills rather than farming. He's probably going to try and come up to his top lane at some point, you know, run at this gyro. Unfortunately, he doesn't quite have the darkness yet, and it's almost daytime again, so maybe not for a few minutes. Ooh, top lane though, there's something, it feels like there's something brewing.
There's something brewing as well. When these 2 supports are in a lane, then they definitely want something to happen. I think Resolution and Fly are picking this one out though, and they do have that dire ward right there, so they see exactly what's going on.
This is good though from
bottom lane. No-Tail coming through the tree line to toss up Exotic Deer, just for the extra harass there with the Illuminate. To Illuminate plus the Tiny combo, it does do a fair amount of damage, not enough to just flat out kill someone. Wow, that is a dive and a half from Nisha in the middle lane, able to kill the Puck there.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's really difficult for the puck to try and lane against this PL. He can try and, he can double gang
Pato, so he looks like he's going to be okay. The nice sleep onto both of them does come through, and there's a burrow strike to follow up, but yeah, Pato's no longer purple, but the burrow strike and the cooldown. Can Patos actually escape this? Oh, just about survives. Jesus, and now Kanko going for another sleep here. Resolution does avoid it. Wow, that was quite close. Quite close.
There's Nisha in this mid lane though against S4 puck. He's a level and a half ahead of this puck already, and there hasn't actually really been.
Look at this. That's really nice. Just using the Phantom Rush at the right moment. He's leveled it to max, so he uses it when he orbs away, so that Nisha can just chase him down and continue the harass there.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Actually, I didn't think of that mechanic. But you see, like, these OG supporters haven't really tried to rotate to the mid lane to gank the PL, and I feel like they need to either. They're not shutting him down now.
Look at this ward here. They see exactly where Fly is, and they're going to pop a coil for it, and there you go, just doppelganger out of it. S4 jumps forwards, might be in trouble. Jerax nearby, and yep, they're absolutely fine. So good ward, I would say.
Yeah, they're going to really struggle to kill this PL until Notel gets his blink.
Avalanche. L tossed back into everybody there. He is in a whole world of hurt, and let's see if they can bring him down. It looks like they got the damage, and there goes that malediction, popping him off.
Yeah, very, very good kill. You know, it's just an ogre, not the PL they wanted, but a kill's a kill. You know, when you rotate 4 heroes into the mid lane like this, if you walk away empty-handed, you're going to be feeling really, really sad. So, you know, at least they get something.
Yeah, and that is the that's a no-tail classic there, tossing someone back into his team, and see him do that a lot when he plays Tiny. It's a beautiful thing to witness. Beautiful thing.
So Jax hasn't really got that much online at the moment. You know, he's been kind of stacking these jungle camps, yet to take them. So he's just started to. So I think when he's taken these camps, we'll probably see to look to get the 4-star first, probably on the Cottle before he goes for the Ags. Possibly not even this game against the Night Stalker, but you know, he's getting there now. He needs that space to farm. So let's see how it goes.
And yeah, Nisha is really doing damage to this middle tower. In fact, he's even doppelgangering to get the extra damage. And S4 could be in trouble as nighttime is hot. They get the silence off the Spirit Lance as well. They will be able to take down that little fairy dragon. Fly nearby, and in comes rotation from Resolution actually, but he's not able to find anybody. The cooldown does whiff, so he's just gonna soak up a bit of farm instead. Protect the tower as well. So that's what this rotation does, right? Even if it doesn't get you a kill, at least you get to protect your tower a little bit longer. And this middle lane tower, so important.
Yeah, middle lane, you know, opens up so much of the map if you can bring this tower down. This is exactly what we're looking for from Exotic Deer. Look, he's going for this bot lane.
Bottom lane, yep, here we go. Using this nighttime, still inside his ultimate, but the toss back into Jerax actually allows him to dodge the Illuminate.
The Avalanche as well, unfortunately.
Yeah.
2 misspells there, but
dodging his own spells.
This is exactly what we're looking for from Exotic Deer, though. You know, we've talked about he really needs to get online with these ganks early on to try and secure, you know, his mid-game farm. So, looking to see what Exotic Deer goes next as well. He has the phase, you know, has these raindrops, has the one, but sometimes we see the Solar Crest, sometimes we see an early Ags. I think he's probably going to want to go more utility like the Solar Crest first, but we'll see what he decides to go.
Throwing it over to the net worth, we do actually see the Sand King ahead of the Night Stalker just about in farm, so he's actually done better in this top lane than Night Stalker's done in the bottom lane. But they're kind of rallying around Nisha here with this kind of, I guess you call it a single core lineup, because I wouldn't really call. I mean, Night Stalker obviously is getting the farm. He will be a core later on, but right now they're putting all their eggs into the Nisha shaped basket.
Yeah, and they're going to put them in the Nisha basket even more. If we see, look, he's going for a Battle Fury as well, so really wants to try and scale into this mid to late. Oh, he's in trouble. Oh,
he is in trouble. He's silenced up. No-Tail is there, and they will get this kill. Now, can they get the return kill onto Puck? He's actually silenced up, and no, just about the phase shift, leaping forward, but no, he does go down. Now, Fly with the Death Ward. It does a lot, but doesn't secure them a kill. Patos, he's looking low. The Blink Dagger from No-Tail throws him back and does get that one as well. So, Phantom Lancer and the Sand King die on Kinguin. Resolution once more, but Exotic Deer does have that Fly over the tree line.
Yeah, very good rotations from OG there. We just see this 5-man mid straight away, you know. All the Earth.
Splitter commits it. I'm sure they will dodge this one. Tiny gets actually really close to it there. And now comes the cooldown. It is just going to land on Exotic Deer. And Kanko runs back into it as Nisha's coming in. He wants to find himself a bit of Tiny action, and he certainly will. Doppelganger to dodge the Illuminate. Nicely done there. And the toss. And maybe more. Fly. Very, very slow. This is an Ignite, this is a Void, this is a Silence, this is everything here. That Urn ticking him down, and Kankor comes in for the last hit there. Fly hits the deck, and really nice turnaround from Kinguin here, using their aggressive lineup to really punish OG for trying to get aggressive on them.
Yeah, and we can see, look, Exotic Deer is always going for this +1. Look, he's going for this castle next in the bot jump.
Yeah, now he does have that shrine, so Exotic Deer, he just wanted to pop the shrine, I think. He wasn't really interested in the kill that much, and they see all these stacks now, and I'm wondering how much they're going to commit to stopping these being farmed.
I think that's the most important thing. Not only did he go for the Kotter, we didn't quite get him, but he's actually he's
still here. Exotic Deer doesn't show any signs of giving up on Jerax here, and even with the TP in from Fly, this another death ward actually, and Exotic Deer just into the trees, TP out, affirmative in the chat wheel. He is out of here. Meanwhile, we have an Epicenter up at top as they catch out Resolution. He drops a cooldown onto 3. It's doing a bit, but it's nowhere near enough to save his life as 3 heroes take down the old man in his flying machine. Oh boy, Kinguin showing a lot of life here early on.
Yeah, they really want to make these rotations and early game fights happen. That, you know, they almost have this blink on the Sand King as well. So when that's online, they're really going to try and step up the heat. I think, you know, especially with this darkness from the Night Stalker. He's actually going for a Vessel first. Okay, I really like this.
Look at him. There are 3 heroes here. He's still going to throw out the Void onto Fly and threaten him. I love this.
You know, unless there's a rotation from either the gyro or actually they're going to smoke back in with no tail. He has his blink online.
Yeah, this is quite smart, but Exotic Deer is nowhere to be found. The Night Stalker is running away. Pretty sensible actually. Oh, they have this ward. Did they smoke inside of the ward up here?
Oh, they did. Yeah, definitely.
Paid off twice now. What a ward from Kinguin. This is like earned them so much.
The thing is, that's a new ward as well. I think they've just put it down. That was a rotation.
Yeah. They've been warding the same place though, because it's just paid off really well for them. And now comes this. Well, I mean, it's still an old smoke wearing off from OG, and they're not able to find anything with it. So they've basically just thrown 100 gold and about 30 seconds of their heroes' farming time down the drain for absolutely nothing.
The thing is, when you smoke there like that, you're unsure whether they have vision or whether they just have good game sense and know that you're all missing off the map. So
yeah, and that's what we saw before as well. Sorry, when the PL was at mid and they had this ward up here, they saw the Witch Doctor standing here waiting to go on him. And he didn't move. He held his own because they know how important it is to keep up their wards and not make it obvious that they are aware that something's happening. So OG might go, did they have a ward there? You know, we don't know enough to sacrifice a sentry early game, which it's a lot of gold for a support early on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the very nicely done by Kinguin.
See OG really trying to take a fight around this mid lane at the moment. You know, they really want this mid lane tower. Oh, Fly might be in trouble here to the Night Stalker.
Oh, yeah, middle lane, it is going down. They find, oh man, Resolution in the top lane is a more important kill, in fact, as they didn't even commit the Epicenter to it. Just Burrow Strike with Canker as well. Jeez, very brutal.
We've talked about how important the PL is for Kinguin's side at the moment. You know, if they can shut this gyro down and keep killing him, now he's the main answer.
They're rotating in, but he's just going to TP out. Can he get it in time? No, there's the coil. Lovely coil by S4. And can they find the kill here? He's actually trying to go onto Jerax here to get the return. He does get taken out though.
Yeah, the cast came in, followed by the avalanche just before the doppelganger came out. So, you know, really well played there by OG. We've talked about how important the PL is. You know, like I just said. So if they're shutting down the gyro, they need to be shutting down this PL equally as hard, because, you know, this gyro's not going to be able to kill this really farm PL. You know, he has this Battle Fury, he's going to be coming online really quickly, so need to try and kill this PL if Rezo's not having the game that they want him to have.
And he's definitely not having the game they want him to have. He's been shut down pretty hard. Still able to stay okay on the net worth chart, but actually falling behind the Sand King now. Jesus, Patos. He's actually farmed the Gyrocopter though. He's been getting kills on Resolution, so he's loving life. Blink Dagger, Mana Boots, and going for the 4-staff as well.
Yeah, he's going to be doing a lot of work in these fights. If they can get this blink stun off, followed by this Earth Splitter from the Elder Titan, you know, it's going to be so much damage coming out with the Epicenter as well. Bot lane, there might be something going on here.
Yep, throwing out that Ignite onto Fly.
Oh, Exotic Deer TPs to the shrine.
Yeah, here we go. This is going to be a kill on the Witch Doctor, which would be nice to start off. They actually ignore him, and he's able to get the stun off and the Death Ward. And now Big Daddy comes in and combos up the Night Stalker, who is maledicted. He's going to drop. They're coming in hard and fast as Resolution finds Kankor here. That is a nice blast. Lovely blinding blast from Jerax, and Resolution finds the kill. And Pato's just hanging about going, well, I've got the Epicenter, but you're all dead. You're all dead. A lovely fight from OG there. Can't quite figure out. I mean, I think the biggest mistake there was thinking that someone would get the last hit on the Witch Doctor and leaving him alive, so that he was just able to.
Ogre as well.
Yeah, El, this is not a rotation you wanted to go for.
And like you said, this Night Stalker tried to do for the really greedy play, you know. He thought the Witch Doctor was already dead, tried to move on for the next kill, you know. We've talked about already looking for that +1. Unfortunately, that meant that the Witch Doctor could get the Death Ward off, you know. We have this puck damage coming over the top, and unfortunately that means Exotic Deer just falls on the Night Stalker instantly.
Nisha actually got spotted out by the Illuminate here, and Resolution's going for this kill. Now Nisha does have the doppelganger. He's going to have to be patient when he uses it. They're up into the high ground, but look at the prediction from Resolution. The rocket, the cooldown, the Illuminate, they finish him off. What a kill. Oh my lord. Oh gee, that was so sick. Like, immediately predicting he was going to go for the doppelganger, not afraid to commit that cooldown, the Illuminate to follow up with the rocket to keep him still. Like jigsaw pieces falling into place. OG playing those two heroes beautifully.
The thing is,
L in the middle lane. They're smoking on him.
Nisha knew he couldn't try and commit the doppelganger early because there was this rocket chasing him, but...
they're going on to the Witch Doctor here, and I think they will get this kill. And now Tiny throws them in all together here. And very nicely done. Kankor's going to drop. And, yeah, there's going to be L dying as well here. OG coming up behind with the rear smokes. They lose their Witch Doctor, but they trade 2 for it, so they're going to be pretty happy with that one. Luckily, Paytos did get away.
Yeah, the thing is, they got these 2 kills, but they got the mid-tier 1 as well.
Oh, and here we go, jumping onto Puck here. They have the epicenter, they will use it. Silenced up, no escape, but now the orb coming through. And in comes Resolution. He is so active on this gyrocopter, and he's going to find yet another kill.
This is so well. S4's living as well, just about, you know, Exotic Deer can't find him because it's daytime.
Oh man, this is tragic. This is tragic. Kinguin just had such an advantage, and now it's all going away. I mean, look at the gyrocopter men at work here. Exotic Deer, they find him, they take him down. There's not much chance of survival here. There we go, taken out.
Well, affirmative comes out from Jerax. Look, we haven't really talked about it, but it feels like OG are always getting the upper hand in terms of these fights where they get engaged upon them, and they always seem to have these like heroes just appear out of nowhere. And we saw it there with the recall. You know, Jerax is playing really, really well on this Kotal, and we talked about his item progression a bit earlier, and he has this 4 stuff and almost 2,000 gold already. So, I wonder what he's going to go for next after this 4 stuff, and whether we see this Aghanims. There's another smoke from Fly and Rezo in the mid lane. They're just non-stop aggression here from the gyro.
He's not bothered, is he? And Kankor, well, I'm not sure he's going to survive this one, even running out of the way of the Earth, but OG's still caught in it, and they will find Fly, though, Dotail in to help out his support. Now, Fly does drop, but, I mean, that's pretty much the story of this game. Get off that cliff, says Jerax. They shoot him down to the ground, and they can't quite find the finishing blow onto the Night Stalker. In comes a rocket, though, and there we go. Just sealing the deal there.
We were talking about...
He's trying to hide on the cliff, and Jerax goes, no, get down!
Yeah, I feel like Jerax is playing so well on this Kotal. I've said it already, but he's everywhere at the moment, you know. OG getting this really deep vision into the Kinguin jungle as well up on this hill, you know. They're using these wards really well to try and get rotations in.
Oh, jumping forwards with the recall onto No-Tail. This is the old one too, they're pulling off every single time. In comes the Illuminate, they can't quite find the last blow onto Paytos here. Even that rocket might not do enough damage to finish him off. And actually, they're turning it around here. The PL's coming in, and they do get enough damage onto No-Tail to take him out, getting the return kill. Now the cooldown Resolution just being super defensive here to cover his TP. Doppelganger won't reveal him, but it was too late anyway.
Very, very good from them. You know, unfortunately, No-Tail has to be the sacrifice there, but, you know, if Rezo gets out on this gyro, they're going to be very happy. You see, TP's back to base, and instantly, look, Jerax just recalls him in, and he's going to take this Ancient Stack. Absolutely no time wasted by OG. You know, they're doing really, really well here.
Such efficiency.
And Fly pulling those, getting the vision of those
getting the vision on the creeps, just so the flat cannon goes off. Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, Kinguin. They're feeling the pressure now, so let's talk about timings and kind of lineups. I mean, Kinguin, they couldn't really afford to have this this dip in the middle game, and I'm sure the net worth thing will show that, yeah, it's substantial. It's a bit of a ski slope now, as we've dropped down from that advantage which Kinguin had, and this has just been basically Resolution. But it's been like, Gyrocopter's not a hard farming carry, Gyro's a ganking carry, and running around and getting kills with his team. And Kinguin just weren't prepared for it, and their very aggressive lineup is starting to fall off already. And that's not what you can allow to happen versus Gyrocopter. So here we go, 5-man smoke. I was just about to say, now's the time for a smoke. Even? Okay, they dip into Roshan, just checking if it's being done.
A scam though. OG used their scan, and I think they just saw the rotations of Kinguin. They know exactly where they are.
Are they looking to fight this?
I think
there's 4 heroes just hanging out here. They're even gonna...
Who's going to have the high ground advantage here?
Nisha goes to farm. They will see them. Exotic Deer, it is nighttime, and they are going to get the Fly, but, I mean... It's kind of the story of this game.
More here. I think Kinguin need to try and get another kill, but OG positioned so well here.
Oh, look at this. They've TP'd the gyro, and they really want to make some kind of defensive play. Even with their Witch Doctor dead, they're more than happy. And poor old Fly, I mean, he really has taken a beating this game, hasn't he? He's currently sitting on 5 deaths.
Yeah, I feel like that's fly in general for OG in all the games they play. You know, if he dies, they use the smoke. I think he's not going to be too worried about that. You know, Kinguin, if they get this tier 2 top, they're going to be happy. It does look like it is going to fall, but looks like it is going to fall. Sorry, but you know, I still think OG are going to be okay with this. You know, they didn't give away any cores. They didn't give away a tiny or a gyro kill. So
yeah, I mean they're sitting above 3k golden advantage, and another smoke out. Now they won't spot this one, but OG is so defensive now. They don't actually spot resolution. They didn't put a ward down there, so they have no idea. Absolutely no idea. Well, the only way they get a kill is if someone TPs this shrine.
Yeah, the thing is, I just want to talk about this theme in Dota in general at the moment. You know, we see these cores getting picked a lot, like Gyro, Razor, Tiny. You know, they farm really quickly, but not only that, but they can really get involved in these early game fights. You know, we see this a lot with Jug, Sven as well. And I think it's got to the point in Dota now where you can't just have a hero that AFKs, you know, farms on your team. That's why we don't see heroes that anti-mage picked very much anymore. And they're so greedy, especially with these mid-game orientated fights that, you know, we see almost every game at the moment.
Yeah, I think you're right. And picking these lineups which complement those sorts of heroes really goes well. I mean, that's why we see so much popularity in the Bane. You know, he's so good at ganking. Here we go. They're doing it again. And they will cancel the stomp. Kinguin, this time they're on the defensive. And it's daytime. See, they ganked all nighttime and didn't find anything, and now it's daytime again. That's actually super important when you're playing against Night Stalker.
Yeah, he does have darkness.
We're just so aware of it.
He does have darkness, but doesn't really want to use it unless they're trying to be on the aggressive here. Okay, so Patos is hanging around in the spot lane, trying to see if anybody goes on the PL, I think. But they just TP to the tier 1, they really want to find him. Yeah,
here we go, and they will use that coil for Nisha, and the science as well, so it's no doppelganger for you. Now, what does he have to actually turn this one around? But in comes the Epicenter, and they kill Fly, but, I mean... There's no big change here. Fly drops.
Everybody though.
At least it's something. Yeah, both teams turning up for this fight, and I don't think they're actually going to fight this one, you know?
Yeah,
Night Stalker ulti's popped.
They really want to just get out now. You know, they got their kill, they're very happy, they force rotations. One of the most underrated things from Dota is to just force rotations from the other team. So, you know, stop them from just AFK farming on the map, stop them from doing whatever they want, you know. You want to be on the aggressive sometimes and force them to do what you want to do.
Well, it's a game of Sanjin Yashas, as we have 3 in the game. Phantom Lancer, Tiny, and Gyrocopter all have themselves a Sanjin Yasha, and that kind of is a testament to what kind of game this is, with the fast-paced team fights, everybody wanting to fight in this middle game, and Sanjin Yasha is a perfect item for that, because it's not too expensive, gives you a lot of stats, and just gives you so much utility as well, and chasing people down.
Definitely. We actually talked about whether Cotter would go for this Axe. I really like that he hasn't this game. You know, he's gone for this utility build instead that I talked about in the draft. He's got the 4-staff, got the Glimmer Cape now. So he's detection.
Yeah, I think if Jarek spends his time taking farm around the map, then we're going to end up with some pretty starved 3s on OG.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm sure he would have loved to have tried and get this Aghanims online when they were talking about it in the draft, but you know, when they see this Night Stalker, they're saying, okay, Jerax, well, you know, we don't have the sustain for the push, you know, in the heal and the illuminate anymore, so just try and do whatever you can on this Cotter. You know, it's not going to be an easy game for you, but you know, so far Jerax is not making it look like a hard game at all. You know, he's playing really well.
Yeah, absolutely. No, he's considering as well, you know, usually when there's a Night Stalker in the game, you expect to see a Keeper of the Light really shut down, and that's just not been happening.
Yeah, I think it's really difficult for Night Stalker to get onto these backlines at the moment, and you see he's going straight for this BKB after the Vessel. You know, he really wants to try and chase these heroes down, like the Tiny, the Kotl, and really get in their faces with the BKB, because there's not a lot of physical damage coming out from OG at the moment. You know, a lot of the magic damage from Gyro, from the rocket barrage, you know, the homing missile, the cooldown, and if they can just negate all of that, you know, maybe they might be able to try and get some...
Oh, you know, here we go, they clash into one another, they will find Fly, but they want more. They're not just happy with this, and look at them, they're all surrounding, and now the stun out onto Sanking stops them getting off that Burrow Strike, and Resolution drops a cooldown. They are going to lose their Witch Doctor, and it looks to me like OG are backing out of this one. And
S4.
Yeah, he takes the he's actually going to escape. Meanwhile, yeah.
A good glimmer from Jerax there on the puck. They didn't have any detection, unfortunately.
Just watching OG that fight, and they were really far back. They were not looking to commit too much there, and the fact they were able to get the Sanking at all actually is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I really like this. You know, they de-ward this high ground ward on the cliff up there. You know, Ogre's picked up this gem now, so they really want to try and, you know, shut down the map control from OG. You know, they have this Night Stalker. They really don't want the vision game from OG helping them get these get the initiations off that OG want. But you know, PL's doing a really good job of pushing these lanes out with the Battle Fury, though. You know, we've talked about the BKB we saw how much it worked that fight. You know, he went straight in with the BKB, wasn't worried about anything, but as soon as the BKB wears off, you know, he has to be really, really careful with what he wants to do. And just go back and pushing these lanes.
Night time, but that's a lovely glimmer on the Keeper of the Light, and it's going to help him escape. And once again, I mean, I'm sure Kinguin want to make this nighttime work for them, but oh, look at OG now. They're coming in hard. There are all 5 of them here. And I love what they've been doing as well. They've been really sticking together as a group. They don't want to give up any kind of kill to Kinguin. And that's exactly what Kinguin's lineup wants to do. They want to be getting pick-offs. And this Keeper of the Light is such a beautiful pick versus this team, because they can just keep all together. You know, someone TP's back to base. Oh, it looks like we have a fight breaking out. Actually, the coil nicely onto 2, but BKB out from Nisha, jumping forwards. He wants to take down the mountain. Can he do it? No-Tail's just out of here. He's going to TP out, but there's a cancel from Peytos and the sleep as well. Meanwhile, on the backlines, Fly being beaten down by Exotic Deer and Lisa, and they will not be able to find the kill onto No-Tail yet, although Nisha is trying his best. There we go. He does drop. Resolution has a lot of health, though. The Dong going to come out onto the Phantom Lancer. Meanwhile, Exotic Deer is being chased down. That's going to be a kill. We have an Epicenter, and Puck just dodges the whole darn thing. Pike gonna come through.
Oh, the mana leak as well on the Sand King.
He's gonna have to sandstorm or something and burst back, and there comes a cooldown. They're happy to use that for Peytos. He is the second most farmed hero on their team. Nisha in the middle of it all, getting up onto the high ground, but this is a really nicely done team fight by OG right now. And well,
yeah, we saw the BKBs come out from like the PL really early on in the fight, because he had to try and get out of that Dream Coil without getting damaged and without getting stunned. And you saw Rezo just waiting in the backline so patiently. You know, unfortunately No-Tail and Fly went down, but as soon as they did, you know, the BKBs have worn off, and Rezo just enters the fight and just absolutely destroys everybody. You know, when they don't have these BKBs, they just can't stand toe to toe to him with damage. He puts out so much damage at the moment. You know, he has this butterfly now as well, so.
Yeah, and there's been so much action. We haven't really been keeping up with the action very well, with the items very well, sorry, but we do actually have a Butterfly, a Sanjanyasha, and a BKB out from Resolution. This guy's farmed 18k gold. That's 2k ahead of the Phantom Lancer. Phantom Lancer out, he's sitting on the Sanjanyasha, Battle Fury, Black King bar, looking for a Nullifier next, which, what's the Nullifier for?
So the Nullifier, you know, it's just very good at cancelling the BKBs. Not only that, but it's good against the Yules, against the Puck as well. You know, stops. But I think the main thing is, you know, stops people getting their BKBs off, because a lot of the damage that, you know, comes out from this side from Kinguin on the other heroes, you know, it's a lot of magic damage. You know, the Sand King, the Elder Titan as well. So I feel like the PL just needs so many items this game. We've talked about how Kinguin are so all in on this PL for their damage. They really want this mid-game fighting lineup from the Night Stalker and the Sand King, but they just haven't been able to get it at all. You know,
and the mid-game's quickly disappearing before our very eyes now, as OG is showing their late-game prowess, and yeah, Kinguin, they've missed their timings, I would say. They really have. But there's not to say it's hopeless. They still got plenty of options to get back into this game, and I mean, you know, Nisha is still really scary, you know, compared to what a Gyrocopter does at this point of the game, and compared to what jumping onto Fly, and yeah. Oh, Fly's actually might survive for once. No, wait, never mind. No. That's how silly of me. Well, it's a lovely coil onto 3 there. And the cooldown to follow, but they're all around a shrine, so going to heal right back up. That's just going to allow OG to disengage from this one. It's a fight they didn't want to say, uh-oh, Puck, where are you? Is he stuck in the trees? No, just hiding out there.
That blinding light
blinks through. And now Exotic Deer having to force its BKB. This is a 10-second, trying to chunk down Big Daddy with the stuns out, but no sight available. He's just going to stay glimmered up, and there we go. But forced up onto the high ground. Lovely done. And
there's a shrine.
Is going to whiff. Oh, another great blinding light from Jarax, just staying in the backline. They need to take out this Coddle. Meanwhile, they are able to take down No-Tail. And Puck, well, he's a much harder target. And now they're actually TPing in Resolution.
It's like Rezo's done such a good job there pushing the
onto Elder Titan. Meanwhile, the Puck keeps the Phantom Lancer picking. This is busy. This is very smart. And there goes down the Elder Titan. They are able to get the TP out onto the PL, so not a complete disaster for Kinguin, but really nice for OG to find the return kill there in the end. And now they're going to run into Roshan, looking for an Aegis for themselves and a bit of gold for their team as well. And I think this is the first Roshan of the game.
You see exactly the same thing here again though from OG, you know. No-Tail and Flash tank all the damage, tank all the BKB durations, all of a sudden, hello, Rezo enters the fight, and Kinguin just have to run away. And you see now here, like you've just said, they're just going to take the Roche so easily. They take this, win the fight around the Roche pit, and they're just going to move in to win the objective straight after the fight. And this is so good for OG, because, you know, Kinguin are really struggling to take this gyro out anyway, but trying to kill him twice, it means the Gyro's just going to be able to run into the fight, into all the BKBs this time, you know. Maybe tried not to sacrifice flying no-tail so much here, because he can afford to die once and just come back straight away with the BKB.
Yeah, I mean, what, no-tail's sitting on 6 deaths, and poor old Fly is up to 9 now. It's been a pretty rough time for him. I mean, he's able to usually get his spells off before he dies, and once he gets his spells down, OG kind of like, well, you're useless to us now. You can just, you can go. We're done with you. See you in the next life. And Fly just kind of goes and dies.
We've seen no-tail play this sacrificial role for OG so much, and people talk about how good a player of a player Rezo is, but you know, it takes a team to make the dream work. So, you know, you have to have these players that are willing to sacrifice themselves to help other people shine, and I think no-tail does that very, very well with his hero pool, especially. Yeah,
absolutely. Now picking up that hype stone, so he's going to be a very, very fast rock. And it did OG take it quite a lot of ground here. In fact, they're really kind of pushing Kinguin out of the map, and if they're allowed to farm, they're going to get really far ahead very quickly. And their heroes, like we've said it a lot, they just work much better in the late game. I mean, Tiny, he's a very good late game hero. Gyro obviously goes without saying, he's one of the best.
Yeah, absolutely. And this Gyro's only going to get harder to kill. He's actually going for a Skadi next as well, so he's going to become super tanky. You know, he's got this evasion from the butterfly, he's got the S and Y health, he's going to have the Skadi health as well. And with just the PL on the side of Kinguin doing physical damage, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to try and take fights, especially into this Aegis. You know, Puck's going for a Lincoln's. I actually thought he was going to go for a Hex with this ultimate orb, but, you know, if he can stop the silence from the Night Stalker coming out, or maybe the stun from the Sand King, you know, he's not going to be afraid of dying either.
No, he is certainly not. And, yeah, it's like... I don't know, man. I don't know. It's looking very difficult for Kinguin. I keep kind of trying to think of ways they can come back to this game, but it's basically, to me, it seems you take a fight now.
Well, Rezo has a DD.
Whilst Rezo has that double damage and yeah.
Oh, okay. It's actually about to run out, so.
Okay. So yeah, you take a fight in the next 5 minutes, or they're really going to struggle to win this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, he actually has the Skadi online and on the Gyro, so
yeah,
that max health pool on the Gyro at this point. Oh, Jerax almost has a Hex on the Koto, actually. He's so fast.
Yeah, that's the power of the Koto. Illuminate. Pretty good. And there we go. All the toss back onto Nisha there. He's being thrown around all over the place like a ragdoll. In comes the Epicenter. It does quite a lot to force back OG. And now comes the Splitter F. Gyrocopter's dropping low.
Rezo just, he tanks it, he says,
oh, in we go again though, and actually tosses Exotic Beard back.
He tried to toss them back to his team, but a 4-staff came out from, I think it was the Yoga Magi, I think actually it was the Elder Titan, and he stopped the Night Stalker from being tossed back in. That was so good from the, from Castle there on the Elder Titan, K-Saw, sorry. Really, really good play.
Beautiful stuff, beautiful. And there's that Astral coming through, but Kinguin, they did not expect to be on their high ground at 36 minutes defending from OG, but unfortunately that's what the game calls for. And at bottom, S4 and oh, nice dodge there by S4, actually blinking forwards and dodging that Burrow Strike from Sand King.
Yeah, S4's doing a really, really good job of keeping these lanes just pushed out, you know. The thing is, OG just sat in this top lane at the moment, and if S4 can just force this bot lane in and then get recalled by the Kotal, you know, it forces Kinguin to try and defend more than one lane at once.
Oh, Resolution being forced off forwards, I think. But he pops the BKB, he doesn't care, you know. They force him forwards, they get him out of position, and Resolution, yeah, whatever. I got an Aegis, I'm happy to pop this BKB. But yeah, once his BKB's down, he's going to have 2 lives without it. There's an element of risk.
The thing is, how do Kinguin kill these heroes? Like, they have all this lockdown, but so like little damage, especially against the BKB. So he can hold off this high ground, but it feels like, you know, OG's just going to keep chipping away until they get the fight they want. You know, S4 can keep going to back to that bot lane as well if he wants to get recalled in. Rezo's just, he realises now that he can just keep going onto this high.
Oh, here we go, the stun out. They want to take out this Aegis on Resolution, but guess what? Big Daddy's in the back, but Exotic Beard fighting him down. They will be able to take out the Gyrocopter, or will they? He's still alive. There we go. Aegis is down, but look at this from Fly from the low ground. The Death Ward. Is it going to take out Nisha? No, he's not, but in comes the Puck, and there we go. He finds that kill. Lovely orb forwards from the S4 there. And meanwhile, Resolution and No-Tail, they just go to work on the towers. They are not interesting kills right now, and S4 just playing with them, just messing around. Actually getting stunned up here, but in comes Resolution. He's got that cooldown. He's going to force him back. He says, get out of here, and he's hit his level 25. Rockets flying everywhere. And one set of racks is down for Kinguin. OG looking for racks number 2.
Yeah, they're doing very, very well.
Here we go, Epicenter from Paytos, going to go straight onto this Gyrocopter, and he's getting very low. They might be able to take him down. BKB popped, and Nisha does find the right click. S4, meanwhile, being chased out by a Sand King, but will go back to Fly, being murdered up. We'll find him. Meanwhile, Exotic Deer, he's taking a lot of damage from the Maledict, and it does look like they're going to disengage. S4 still hanging out around because, well, S4 and Puck doesn't really tend to get back, ever.
Yeah, that's a buyback from Nisha though, so he loses so much of his net worth. Luckily he does have the Nullifier online now, so that's something, but they had to try and get kills there. But now that Nisha's brought back, they really want to try and get more off the map now that Rezo's dead on this gyro. But you see all these lanes pushed out by OG, like, Kinguin can't really do anything at this point. There's no objective for them to take, you know. There's only these 2 towers in the bot lane and 1 in the mid lane, and they're just nowhere near them at the moment.
Yeah, it's really feeling scary for Kinguin. Maybe a 5-man smoke, you know. Try and get something. Push out that top lane, which they are doing right now with the Phantom Lancer, and then I don't know. Like I think that's their best way back into this game.
Yeah, the problem is Gyro's only got 40 seconds until he's back into the game, so it's really difficult for Kinguin to try and get anything here before the Gyro's back in, and you know, then they have to deal with him again. And we saw how difficult it was for them to bring him down.
That's for probably setting a trap here, or maybe just sitting in the trees for fun.
Yeah, he just wants to keep this lane pushed out, you know. Yeah. He doesn't see any of the Radiant heroes at the moment, so he's scared to try and show into the lane and push. He's just going to wait for Kinguin to show themselves somewhere else before he pushes this bot lane in, I think. The other thing I want to say is though that one of the most underrated talents in the game is actually this PL level 25. He's almost there, and he's going to get this crit online. I think.
Big boy crits.
And it really helps this PL scale into the late game. We talked about how much they rely on him for this physical damage, and you know, with this basically free crit talent, he's going to be doing really well against this gyro. I feel, you know, if he can get on top of him straight away, all these illusions are going to be critting as well. So, you know, increases his damage output out massively.
Oh, here we go. They're grouping up as 5, they can kill the gyro. He misses the bow strike. That's a huge miss from Paytos, and immediately going to be beaten down for it. OG slap him on the bottom and saying, no, you don't get away with that.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate.
Man.
He tried to time the stun blind, but he didn't. You know, he really underestimated the move speed on the gyro. You know, he's running around at 550 movement speed at the moment, and that's before. Like, he doesn't even have the butterfly active on. That's just his, you know, normal movement speed with the talent at level 20. So
tasty talent coming through, and Sanjin Yasha.
How did you catch the helicopter, man? You know, it's just so quick.
Can't even blame him for missing that bow strike, but yeah, it was a very important spell for it. He had to land there for them to be successful with that gank, and you can see they just immediately gave up the moment he missed it. They were like, well, that's it, bye guys.
Otto actually has the Hex now as well. So
there's the buyback, and look at Resolution. He doesn't even care. He's just zoning them out with the flag cannon, attacking the barracks. It really feels like Kinguin just don't have an answer right now. But once their BKBs run out, they do have the damage for him, but he's just going to back out. And is that a Meteor Hammer?
Oh my word, the Elder
Who
Titan
has it?
knows exactly what's going on.
Elder Titan, what a guy. What an absolute guy. There it is. There it is. The game's just changed, everybody. The game's just changed. The Meteor Hammers are out. All of a sudden, OG, oh man, they might struggle against the Meteor Hammer.
Well, there's a smoke though from Kinguin. I feel like this is a small desperation play from Kinguin. Like, they don't want to take fights in their base anymore, because otherwise they're just going to keep losing building HP. Like,
yeah, and look at this. OG, no, they always know. Look at this. Even, oh no, the Illuminate's going to cancel it. Look at this. Oh my god, what an initiation. Kinguin just get taken out by that one. Nisha coming forwards. He might able to find the gyrocopter, which could be good if he could, but no, he's stunned up. He's going to turn it around. Nisha limping off in the back lines, but S4 with the jump there completely annihilates Kinguin. Oh my lord, that was violent. That was very violent. Exotic Deer's trying to farm.
What a bait from OG. Oh my word, they just sit on the high ground and they know exactly what Kinguin want to do. You know, there's not even any vision from OG. They just know that Kinguin would want to leave their base and try and get these kills and fight outside.
Yeah.
And the Puck Dream Kill Silence and the 4-man Avalanche coming out from
with the Illuminate as well. Don't forget the Illuminate. It all came through in the end there. GG is called. Fantastic game 1 from coming back from a little bit of a rough laning phase, you know. Kinguin, they did have an advantage at one stage of this game, but